In today's episode, we're taking a look at some of the best plays from FAKER at Worlds 2025. From his standout moments in play-ins against IG, all the way to the Grand Finals Telecom War against KT, we're showcasing the highlights that defined his historic 6th World Championship run.
And now it's Baron territory. All right, this is T1 being a bit of a fan, going for Barons, for better or worse throughout their time. We'll see whether they do decide to pull the trigger as the teleport is coming in from the Shy. Carrier wanting to get into position, but the Shy is going to be spotted immediately. Good spell shield as the Supreme display of talent doesn't find the angle, and then Protect the President comes on through from T1. Void Rush not going to be enough, and it's Gumayusi that gets the better of the Rek'Sai. And the Shy may have thrown a bit of this lead away, but IG still standing. We'll see what they can get from this. It's a decent stun onto Owner. He's out of the way, but the seismic shove comes through. Pop blocks him. Only onto one as Gala's forced to run away. Such a low health bar. As the phosphorus bomb's not quite enough. Rookie goes down. Gumayusi's free hitting, and it's another one for Owner as T1 just make a team fight win out of nothing.
Oh, that is just one Rek'Sai tunnel too far. They get the extra kill, they get the Baron, and now Atlas, this game, right back the other foot. T1 taking towers with the Baron push.
Yep, and it's going to be even more of a swing. As you can see here, inner turret goes down. That's even more money. And now 3,000 gold lead back in the favor of T1, as now they're looking for even more. The Pulverize only connects onto one. Supreme display of talent goes absolutely everywhere, but it doesn't do anything. They're able to take down the turret, and T1, they're just going to move their way back out. They're just stealing all their stuff, Kobe, and they're watching. And there it is, the public execution. Comes in, Mako just pops like a balloon. The inhibitor goes down. It's a fair bit of AoE as Rookie is still tearing them up alongside Gala. And the Shy gets into the backline with that Void Rush, but now he's in an uncomfortable position. Decent knockup comes through as FAKER's trying to hold them at bay to give enough time to Guma to take down the Shy. And IG back to walking backwards once again, and FAKER flashes forward, finds Gala, blows him up, and this should be the end of the game. T1, after losing for the majority of it, just come out on top, and they're going to look to put themselves 1-0 in this best of 5. Unless Rookie can do something miraculous underneath this turret, but he's not going to be able to. The seismic shove, all too set up here for FAKER to take him down.
What a way to open up Worlds 2025, Atlas. T1 here looking to finish the job in game 1.
Well, Mako looking to try and fight back here, but once again, just into the tennis racket of FAKER, as Way not going to get thrown back this time, but the rocks will be enough. A double kill for FAKER. The GOAT sitting at 4-1-5 at the end of game 1, and it is an ace before the Nexus is taken down. T1 will lead the series 1-0.
Huge value for IG, getting the flash off of Guma. The vision's still here around the Grubs though, and Owner slips into the back of the pit.
Okay, let's see whether he can find the angle, as all of the Grubs are going to reset. The Shy farming behind the turret, and so is Doran. So the top laners nowhere near one another, ready to teleport in at a moment's notice, as there's Make It Rain to come down. Cyclone is there as well from Way, who's just keeping them at bay. Down goes Owner, and that is going to be the Warrior Trickster, but now Doran has found his mark. Down goes Way as junglers will be traded. The Shy gets into the backline though, as Gumayusi is his target, and down he will go. FAKER still trying to find it though, as Rookie will be taken out. FAKER gets into the backline and assassinates all of them. Double kill already, and Doran finishes off the last one, as now the Shy cannot do anything. No mana, no hope, and T1 find a much earlier team fight this time. Sante's come online this heavily, and when they do, they can really get things going. 3-1-2 now for Doran, and we were mentioning it before, but this guy hasn't had a year like this ever, as there is the quickness, the grand entrance, as well as now FAKER with the damage. Mako going to get popped like a balloon, but Gala is going to keep himself alive still. FAKER getting more kills. IG fans, beware. Winning spot. Something goes very wrong.
I definitely agree. Oh.
Okay, Owner going aggressive onto the enemy jungler, as in the meantime, Rookie trying to deal with FAKER, now looking to turn it as Way comes back, and that's just a solo. The GOAT is going to be able to find it as Doran goes all out against Way. He's now in trouble, and oh my goodness, was that a cast of curse or a cast of blessing? I'm not entirely sure, but the Otacon is going to spell the demise of IG potentially yet again. As Rookie down for another 27 seconds. They're not out of it yet. Gala is still terrifying, and he will be able to stop FAKER from going back home. There is Carrier getting into the backline, the bullet time! And the shutdown for Gumayusi. Doran's health bar is very low and the Otacon is being frustrating, but IG are just running out of players.
To make sure that you don't let T1 get an ideal assassination angle off.
Oh, teleport flank angle here from FAKER, who gets behind IG. Let's see whether they can actually get forward. Carrier's health bar already very low as Owner taking so much damage. Puts Rookie into the Cataclysm. Is now FAKER dashing forward, but they've lost Carrier already. The bullet time not quite doing that much, but the all-out comes on through. Rookie in trouble. FAKER gets Gala. The Shuriken backflip doesn't land, but it doesn't seem to matter. Is down. Oh, no, never mind. FAKER is going to be taken out. Way still looking for it. Doran hunting for the Shy. And Wei will survive, but Doran is looking absolutely terrible. So much damage, though. Still, Circle not going to be saving the Xin Zhao, and that is shut down money over to Rookie.
That Hex technology is dangerous, Atlas.
It certainly
They warned
is.
us against this in Arcane.
We learnt about it from Arcane. It's now Rookie. Oh no, you should have learnt about it as well. Doran going to be able to finish him off. He's now in an awkward position, but they don't have to deal with the Wei, who's such a problem. FAKER finds the angle onto the Rumble, and somehow their most fed member dying turned into an inhibitor turret?
Owner's trying to make the most of it with a blue steel.
Yeah, he wants to get it, but Inspired has the better smite. Now Busio using the Pop Blossom, tries to find enough, but instead he only finds his way into the grave. Another kill of it at T1 as Inspired has to try to escape with the Weaver's Wall from FAKER. Wants to lock him up. Inspired wants to sidestep the seismic shove, but no way! 3-0 T1.
All three of these outer towers down, Flower, so there's not a lot of room to work with for FlyQuest. The map is quickly going under T1 control.
All right, T1 trying to force their way further into the enemy jungle, but the Realm Warp into the immediate Pop Blossom. It finds Owner, but nobody else. Now Gumayusi under a little bit of pressure here on the side. Inspired goes into the Cataclysm, but Busio's first to die. Owner still trying to get away. Flashes into the rush to buy a little bit more time, but Acathian Rain gets him. T1 still got more men. Quad in the middle of everybody, and he's cut down by the blades of Gumayusi. Quippo's in the death realm for a little bit longer. He'll take out Carrier, but what about afterwards? There's no way to survive a triple kill for Guma, and T1 team fighting takes them down.
Masu's still in his own body to create that play. He knows Mordekaiser ult just was used to kill off Owner, and so he goes in and he actually makes it a 1-for-1, allowing T1 to answer. But now, the Dragon.
Okay. Dragon started by FlyQuest, but immediately responded by T1. Another seismic shove, this time on Busio. Pop Blossom with no value. Chemtech Drake over to Gumayusi. Doran trying to get away. Busio at 100 HP. Gumayusi still looking to step forward. Nice shove there under Quad, but they aren't going to kill him here just yet. Seraph's Embrace Shield keeps him alive. Realm Warp on the defense. Masu's going to try to get away with that as Inspired uses EQ to get over the wall. Now a teleport coming in from T1. It's Doran looking to cut him off at their own tier 3 turret here in the bottom lane. The Weaver's Wall delays Quad and Masu, and now Doran stands between them and safety. Quippo's trying to help out his team as Quad looks to turn it around. They found a route on a FAKER, and Quad takes him out. FlyQuest continue trying to get away, but Owner has arrived. His clone, Cyclone, kills Inspired, and Quad barely gets away over the wall. Owner's still looking as Quippo has to flash. Masu continues to run on the third, and Tofo Strike doesn't hit, but T1 still has the push.
T1 chasing them across the map, and now they're inside the base.
But there was a reason this #1 Chinese solo queue player was so sought after, even being on a bench for a bit. FAKER might be in trouble here though. Junja's coming up again. He's really earning it this time around. The 3-0 Kiana knows that FAKER's into a corner. Pop Blossom helping out. Carrier's flashed in. Maybe there's a turnabout play. Junja has to hold the in. Jumps to FAKER, but he gets shut down. Carrier saves the day. It's a double TP, but there's more numbers here for T1 as Driver has walked into the ongoing trap. Hongyu now walks into range of Owner, and CFO had control, but they're relinquishing it. A triple kill for the slippery snake of FAKER, and T1 punished so damn well as Gumayusi gets flashed on. Doggo's still got the spun.
T1 kick this one off. Their positioning is good.
Okay, nice little bit of poke coming out from FBI. TP coming in. Rift Herald summoned up. Looks like we might get a Combat Herald on this one as the Weaver's Wall. Nice use there from FAKER. River still looking for the opportunity to try to go in and steal. Quid off on the bottom side. Rest 100 Thieves going in after the Drake. They're going to steal it away. Carrier's about to die to Quid. He falls. Quid takes the kill as the rest of T1 scrambles to try to fight. Solar Flare's not going to find much. Owner takes more damage from FBI. FAKER looks to fire back, and FBI's going to be caught by the seismic shove. Owner takes the kill on that one. 100 Thieves in full retreat. Doran on the chase, but he's already lost the dominance. Stridebreaker on Ayla. Owner goes in for a double kill. T1 take the the fight and they aren't done yet. Quid tries to escape. Owner wants Wind becomes lightning, but he can't quite make it strike. He jumps in anyway as Quid wants to sidestep the seismic shove, but he's still taking a ton of damage. 100 Thieves has overstayed their welcome, and Quid cannot use his Kingslayer in time. T1 may lose the Drake, but they'll take 3 kills. They'll take the mid lane turret, and they'll take the lead. Popping again, down to half HP already. Owner over the wall. River has been winning the smite fights here so far in this game. 100 Thieves looking to peel away now as Ayla charges in for the headbutt pull, but it's not going to connect. Ayla now going to be the target here with the redemption coming down, but Carry is first to die. 100 Thieves already have the first kill. River's going to the back line. He wants Faker and Guma. T1's killed River, but what about the rest of the fight? Quid into the back. Faker staying alive, trying to kite him out. Doka with a little bit more damage, but he's down. 100 Thieves overstep, and T1 have been the best team in the world so many years for exactly this reason.
100 Thieves thought they had their moment, and T1 just turned it around on them. Look at this engage from them. They're able to go in, the flash from Guma to avoid the combo from Ayla, but then the re-engage from River. It's looking so good for them as T1 goes into the blender. They knock down Guma, and you're thinking, this is the time. This is where they're going to win. But Owner comes back up with a GA, and look at Doran. Faker gets the stasis off at no HP, and Doran just crushes them.
FBI flashes into melee range of the Renekton. The flick gets all 3, and
Great engage, avoided the Pop Blossom. He only kills the support, and T1 just fights forward through the rest of the team.
FAKER in an awkward position here.
Yep, tagged by the first Electro Harpoon. Exhausted now as he tries to fight back. Owner swooping in to protect his mid laner. Meanwhile, FBI's in danger. Killer Instinct defensively. Faker burning down. Dokla burning down. A little bit more damage from Flame Spitter. Isn't going to get it done. Faker finds the first kill back into Dokla. Gumayusi under pressure. He tries to sidestep away. A massive outplay from Gumayusi defensively with the feathers to buy a little bit more time. But he is shut down by River. It's still 3 for 1, favoring T1 as Quid and River are trying to get away.
T1 just ever so slightly ahead now. MKOI tries to brute force their way in through the mid lane. Faker is separated.
Charm is there. Lock up on Owner, but he goes invisible for a brief moment. Now he's pulled him to the death realm up against Mir when ulti is really going to do nothing, but Owner's still able to retreat forward now. Alvaro taken down. Owner coming over the wall, going to pop out in a brief moment. Wants to get the grass blade, doesn't have time. That's the shutdown, but it should be super uncontested. Instead, it's Carrier coming in with the pulverize, and now it's Yo-Yo versus the world. He goes into the Faker, but there's too many people. There's not enough sky to sunder. There's nothing left to guard. Jojo wants to make the difference, but Guma grabs a 3-man shockwave. He just doesn't have the damage yet. He doesn't have the items. Jojo keeps him low, but Doran wants to keep going. Q3 ready to pop. Pull through on the all-out. Looking for the Pathmaker to confirm. Tries to predict Jojo, and it just doesn't work. Doran looks like he's about to fall. Nice sidestep on Guma's Q, but Doran just barely able to walk away.
It's the Canadian mid laner trying his best, but it's Faker who's better and snipes him out.
I don't even know if that was necessary.
Reset's coming through now, and they want to keep up this pressure. TP back out onto the map on both top and bot, or top and mid, but is this something?
TP. Faker feels good because he has a death cap, and oh god, he wants to use it! Redemption going in! That looks completely insane, but my man, did he do the math?
That was a display of talent. That was
To contest this Drake. Doran off on the side, isolated as well, taunting, threatening. Trying to distract the members of MKOI. Flash forward from Jojo, completely whiffs. Owner immediately turns right back. Alvaro tries to find the disengage. Lock him on Guma, does not come through. Mirwin cannot find the angle. Supa still standing for now. Knock back into the wall is good, but Owner wants to take down the bait. He doesn't quite have the damage. Supa still standing, but the rest of MKOI are starting to fall. He splits back into Mirwin. Tumble back into the back line. Knock up from Doran. One more ferocious bite, but the Condemn says not today. Supa standing, but here comes Faker.
Faker finishes off Supa and holds the game for T1 in his hands. It looked like Supa might have been able to hold it, but now with the Dragon Soul.
Star Koi, Owner locked up for a brief moment on the hunt used. MKOI retreating back to the river, but unbreakable down for Alvaro already. Oh yeah, isolated. 5 members grouped for MKOI.
Super Minions in the base as MKOI start the Elder. They need to find this fight now and quickly.
TP there for Doran, and he's immediately going to use it to go to the base. He wants to threaten the back door. MKOI don't have great tools to respond to this. T1 just need to keep the pressure on, and Doran will end the game. Owner with the knockup to keep things going. Carrier there as well. Rise with the Row Morph. It's Faker and Guma alongside Doran to try to end it all. Mirwin doing his best to hold the line. TP coming in for Jojo Pune. They're not going to be able to cancel it. Mirwin, Jojo Pune, they need to make this work. They don't have the angle. Guma with a perfect spell shield is still going to remain standing. T1 move on to the top 8 at Worlds 2025. MKOI are sent packing.
Now T1 starting up the second Drake. They want to try to keep stacking here. Keria disengaging as AL's on the approach. T1 grouped up as 4. The Drake is down to 2,000 HP. Faker joins up with everybody. It's a 5v5. They go in immediately as Doran tries to lead the charge with a flash estimating smash, but he's only going to be beat down himself. A lot of damage on the Doran, but he is not down. Keria into the back line. The major engage from T1. Tarzan finds a supreme display of talent and making a 1-for-1 so far, but T1 have the health bars. Faker rides the Weaver's wall as Keria's about to die into the back line, but Kyle falls. Tarzan falls. T1, they'll lose Keria as Gumayusi fights back, and Shanks is on the run. Faker and Guma looking for a little bit more with the piercing arrow going over the wall, and Faker's ready to flash. Another rock is thrown, and Shanks is buried. T1, 4 for 2. Using the Unbreakable, blocks the piercing arrow. Poke trading back and forth still between both sides. Keep your eyes on the engage, keep your eyes on Keria. Flandra digging into the pit, putting that tunnel down, making sure he has some extra mobility for the upcoming fight as T1 want to step forward. Doran then going to crush the tunnel. Kyle, half HP still, going to use Redemption early here for AL just to make sure the health bars stay topped off. Flandra marked on the side, seismic shove onto the AL top laner. Chain CC on the Flandra, he's already down. T1 have found the pick. Supreme display of talent, tries to hold the line, but into the back line goes Owner. Hope is being chased, Tarzan's being killed. Anyone's legend is being crushed as Shanks tries to fight back in a 1v4, but he'll get nothing but an epitaph as T1 kill 4 and take Soul. Okay, Owner and Keria are the only two around the Dragon Pit for now. TP coming in. Faker is ready to join back up with the rest of the team after purchasing the Crypt Bloom. AL starting up the Elder Dragon now. T1 watching on, waiting for the rest of the team to approach. Elder Dragon down to about 1/2 HP. Hope taking a chunk of damage. Dora charging in. Weaver's wall over the top. Kyle's gonna be caught. A ton of burst onto the support of anyone's legend, and he's already down. T1 charge forward. Double kill to Gumayusi. Pressure onto Tarzan. Triple kill Guma. AL are cut to pieces, and T1 holds the sword. Flandra's last to die, and ace for T1 will be the end of game 1.
Great force there from T1. They use their wallet.
Frustrating when you consider the 3,000 individual gold lead for Hope as the 80 carry here with a Sivir. They're moving into the enemy jungle now, and Kyle again just slams Owner into the wall, but now he's in danger. Tarzan and Kyle both so low, it's 2 dead on the AL side, but Hope is still alive. Faker flashes back over the wall, but Shanks is burning. Flandra caught in the middle of everyone. Anyone's legend have overplayed their hand, and T1 is ready to punish. Hope should be next to die, and Guma cashes in. Only Shanks still stands. That could have been the entire game. A dredge line from Keria, and Owner is ready to follow up. The wind becomes lightning and strikes Shanks down. Ace for nothing, for 1 for nothing, T1.
You cannot make mistakes against T1. This is kind of the window that I want to try and play off of as we just pressed into that position with item spikes and also that ult advantage.
Yeah, it's the 2-item power spike on everybody that's not a support, for everybody except for Faker. Tempered Fate, no target connection there, but AL is going all the way in. They want Gumayusi, who already gets away, so they're going to switch over to Keria now instead. Owner trying to fight back as Shanks is in the middle of everybody. He snaps back. Keria dies first. Immortal Shield will keep Shanks alive as AL are now continuing to retreat. Kyle and Shanks very low. T1 goes forward. Tarzan with a dunk, but he's only going to seal his own fate. Gumayusi barely holding on, but he burns down. Faker with a kill on Tarzan. Owner chases Hope. The Jhin getting away for now as T1 have lost their bottom lane, but they've killed 3 in response. Faker after Flandra, who has to flash away. Owner flashes to try to catch him with a ball breaker. Flandra needs more distance, but he cannot find it. Abscond, abduct. Goodbye to the Aurora. It's both supports down. Flandra, the extra man dead, means T1 win the fight.
Yeah, they melt the front line. Shanks is actually creeping around, but there's not much he can get. He's looking for an angle onto Guma.
If he can find Gumayusi, that's the angle. That's the only way to win it, and there he goes! Shanks with the hero play as Hope tries to escape from Doran, but the Bellows breath takes him down. Tarzan wants to get away from Owner, from Faker. He can't quite get there. He's feared up. Shanks nearly kills off Owner, but a beautiful spell shield keeps him alive. Shanks is trapped inside the gravity field, and Faker takes him
down. Tarzan on the run. He's the only one left alive from the original fight. Kael has finally respawned. Faker and Doran are going to continue the chase now. If they can get a delayed kill on this jungler, they can almost guarantee themselves either a soul or a Baron, and that's exactly what they're doing. Tarzan will not be allowed to dig through the wall. The Arcane Storm silences him as he tries, and let Hope start to get some resets. Now AL moving in. They're going to start up the Otacon. TP ready to arrive from the T1 side. Otacon loses his patience. AL have to be a bit careful. Flandre here on the side. He's going to find Doran, who finds him, as now the Solar Snare finds Tarzan, and T1 are moving forward. They charm up the enemy jungler. Tarzan's already down, but Doran dies. Hope is excited, but where's the rest of the fight? Carrier tries to get away. Gumayushi right beside him. Flandre here on the front line as Owner's going to be chopped up. The Mundo dies. Hope's on a killing spree. Flandre going forward, but Faker takes him out. Hope, Shanks, and Kael trying to get away. Guma, Carrier, and Faker stepping forward. The Otacon, it's impatient, but it's so close to dead. It is stolen away by Faker himself.
Mel wins those every time.
Andre on the reset, picked up his GA.
Okay, T1, they're moving into the river. They're taking total control now. Hope wants to grab the red buff, and Flandre needs to get back out and join up with the rest of AL here for the fight. Red buff secured. Elder Drake started, but so slowly. Flandre going to move forward, try to clear away the control ward. They're going in after the Aatrox. They set him up with the arrow. Flandre has been caught at a critical moment. Over the wall goes Tarzan. Wild Growth coming in from Kael. Guardian Angel will blink Flandre back, but where is the damage on AL's side? Doran into the back line. Kael is already down. Doran killed in response. T1 pushing forward. Shanks the next kill. Hope trying to kite. He needs to get away because T1 have won the fight 2-1.
Flandre is trying to reset and teleport back in. He's trying to link up with the team. The minions are here. They need to turn it. That's the teleport.
Okay, T1, they've got to understand this Aatrox is probably their target. Flandre arrives. Solar Snare looking to lock him up. Owner taking a ton of damage. Hope is excited. Flandre's got the kill. Solar Snare on Hope, but it's not going to do any more. Flandre's going to try to get away. Goes back in here for the Q1. Tarzan wants to engage onto Gumayushi, but he cannot find him. Flandre over the wall. Wants Faker. Can't get the damage. Hope can't do it either. Gumayushi's still alive. T1 out team fight into Legend for another delayed ace. Second inhibitor falls, and T1 are looking for the end of the game. The Elder's got 15 seconds left on it. T1 guiding the Baroned up minions toward the Nexus turrets. Solar Snare not hitting a target. Flandre and the rest of AL scrambling to try to defend. Nexus turret's down to about half HP. Owner takes some burst. Tarzan takes more. T1 looking for the engage. They found Flandre, but he gets away. Half HP on the front line of AL. T1 pushing forward. They've made their way on the Nexus. AL scrambles to defend. Doran can't do it. History is written by the victors. And yet again, T1 turns the page of the LPL. They will once again earn their place in the semifinals. As soon as it returns to a champion. Well played there from T1. Now over 2,000 gold ahead. And my friends, we have 45 seconds left until the Cloud Soul spawns. Hong in some danger here, has to flash away. Carrier ready to go after him again with the quickness. Feet of Warfare finally claimed at 27 minutes by T1. And they are just barreling down the bottom lane. Gumayushi gonna get healed up by Redemption, but no! Cream's already got the assassination. He dies in response as Kanavi continues spinning forward, looking for a little bit more. The ricochets from Jackie Love. He needs more, but he can't find it. A double kill to Faker as Owner finishes Jackie, and only 3-6-9 is left. T1 again win the fight.
T1 on the bot side of the map. It felt like that Jackie Love had really woken up in this game, but Kanavi once again isolated. Shockwave.
Shockwave from Faker to burst down the enemy jungler. Kanavi has never found his angles in this game after that first blood. Cream of the wall wants something. They'll give him a burial. Gumayushi with the kill. Just the blood of top esports being poured off the side of the graph.
Doran has found Cream.
Wants to go after this Rise. TP coming in from the side of top esports. T1 ready to respond with one of their own. Doran down to half HP. Owner wants a little bit more. The teleport is a little bit late to arrive from Faker, but it's still just in time. T1 send more men, and they get the double kill because of it.
They can run, they can hide, but Top Esports cannot escape the nightmare that is T1. It was a 2 versus 1 that turned into a 4 versus 2 as FAKER Zhonya's.
FAKER walks right towards the brush, but he's got the reaction time. Top Esports wanted to find their moment. Carry is wrapping around from the side. He wants to cut off the escape. Pop Blossom on 2. Doran chasing after Hong as Jackie Love is dead again. And Doran cuts the enemy support down. Only Kanavi is alive to tell the tale.
To start to become, well, what do you do? It has been comfort across the board for
Legend. Dagda, because Vedius, you mentioned back at the draft when we saw the Kaisa locked in. Never mind, we don't have time. Jackie Love going after Gumayushi, who sidesteps the public execution and kills Jackie anyway. 369 wants the damage, and Guma's finally going to be shut down. But Top Esports lose their top laner. Now Owner's putting the pressure onto Cream and Hong, making more space as FAKER lets blow the winds of war, and they will blow down Top Esports. Nobody's left alive. They might have got Gumayushi, but it cost them everything for a successful multi-lane push. So T1's just gonna keep going straight for the Nexus. Here comes the Grand Starfall, and Jackie's already down. Hong goes with them. The focus fire into 369 as Cream and Kanavi scramble to stay alive, but nobody on Top Esports has anything to stop T1. It's only the mid laner left. They'll get the final kill. And yet again, the highest peaks of the LPL are merely stepping stones for the unkillable Demon King. FAKER and T1 have set the stage for the World Finals Telecom War.
Flash for Doctum. No flash for Cuz. KT luckily able to reset the objective, but I don't think they're going to get a chance to leave quite yet. T1 know they have an advantage in the fight if it comes down to the 5v5. Flash forward, ulti into the back, immediately thinks he kicked off, but Peter does his best to heroically disengage. It is not enough to keep Doctum standing. Cuz taken out as well. Doran in the 3v1, completely and totally unfazed. Carrier there to stop any further follow-up. FAKER taking down Perfect, and BDD is not enough to stop T1.
And it's the Crook Lord that finds his mark. Doctum goes down, and T1 turn onto Otacon.
Doran, the addition to this T1 roster, annihilated him.
Hello.
Resetting, resistance is shredded by the Otacon. Carry a ward over the wall, spots out Cuz. T1 know it's a 50-50 now. 5 seconds on Doctum, but he doesn't have access to a TP to make it to the fight any faster. Perfect TP available. BDD finds the angle into Doran. Carry now backing up 3K on the objective. Getting lower. Steadfast presence gone. FAKER on the backside. Cuz wants to try to make it out of this one, but now they're moving at the advantage to take out Guma. No, Guma living. Like to finish him. Looking for a bit more damage, but T1, they find the double for Carrier. They take the Thornbound Otacon, and Perfect. It is too little. It is too late.
FAKER teleports in and he saves the team fight. He gets that shove.
Cuz still eating a bit of damage. The poke from T1, a bit tough to deal with. You can see the pierce that lands onto Doctum, taking that chunk of health. Flash in, full committal to the fight. Pillar to isolate Owner, redemption to heal FAKER right back up. That's almost every single cooldown burn. It's on BDD to try to turn it back, but it's a split fight. T1 coming from multiple sides, collapsing as Owner moves in on top of Perfect. Doran has been isolated in the death realm, but he'll manage to make it over. Flashback, absolutely jukes him. And now it's Perfect, caught in a 1v1 with FAKER right as he comes out. He is stunned, but he won't be taken down. All of T1 in the pit. The spears stacked, smites available.
FAKER's going to teleport back. They're recalling Mordekaiser and the Anivia.
The fight just continues to go. 6K getting lower. Doctum trying to get a bit of poke. Hostile takeover connecting. They don't have a cleanse. Devour from Peter is good, but it might not matter. Cuz continuing to move in. BDD waiting over the wall. The ulti is there, but they don't need to face him yet. The turn on to FAKER isn't enough. 3K. Cuz in the pit. At the end of the day, it does not matter because it is Doran to get the soul. KT might be able to get the fight, but there's too many members of T1 standing. Ocean Soul to T1 as everybody on KT falls.
And I am starting to hear some silver scrapes in my telecom war. Oh my God, T1 stand up, get the Ocean Soul, and they have made every person in this stadium stand up as well. Doctum gets hit with the Carrier ultimate immediately. Peter trying to bail him out. They're both so low, they get pushed out. Then
Doran blocking the Caitlyn ultimate, protecting Owner here as they try and kite back into the pit. Meanwhile, on the top side, BDD was running straight at them. Immediately gets deleted there by Keria and FAKER on the other side.
And it's Guma skirting alongside the fight. And the fact that FAKER, even though BDD got his ultimate off, hit him with the stun. So he didn't actually get to do the damage that he needed to, as the double fake out from Doran. And the MasterCard prize at the moment of the game, Ocean Soul secured for T1. When it comes to summoners for KT, and T1, call the T1 Baron. Gold leads there, Ocean Soul is theirs, and KT, we'll see if they can make something happen.
Owner and T1 have secured every single objective this game. Cuz moving in, but zoned away by the Storm from the side of the team. Berserk now onto Cuz, has to ulti. Owner using an ulti of his own just to try and disengage. Doran, meanwhile, in the mid lane, happy to just continue fighting. Perfect going into the back line. Looking to get taken down by FAKER. He's in the death realm, but FAKER's happy with the 1v1. Just in time, he gets out, and Doran is there to seal the deal on the kill. KT desperate to get anything. They've already lost their top laner. The game rapidly slipping away.
They're trying their best to not let this game go to 5 as Doran still searching.
No flash for BDD, that crucial piece of CC and exhaust there. But FAKER just waiting in the darkness. Guma stacking up the spears, the wall to zone KT away. Flash not there for Cuz either. BDD off on the side is going to use the ultimate. W in from Peter does absolutely nothing. T1, they see a vulnerable opponent. They know what they can do as they start to rip them to shreds. KT is not going to take a Baron. T1 reminding us why they are here. What they can do in a world final.
To put threat behind when I move up in lane and try and taunt you. And now you don't have that pressure at all.
Q forward, sidestep, the taunt, FAKER, turning it back, BDD, one more auto, the 1-for-1!
And BDD, no hesitation, must have known that that was gonna kill him.
Meanwhile, on the top side of the map, Doran locked down with the Pandas. Cuz on the way up.
Oh, just barely.
With the flail.
With Sejuani to back it up. Then the Camille Galio,
FAKER.
Leona combo is
moving down, that's the combo, locks him in the ultimatum, finds the damage, the taunt is there, and Doran takes another. Owner FAKER here, the TP's used. T1 making the fast play happen. KT caught reeling, too far behind on tempo. Doran might have fallen in the previous play, but he is still damn powerful. Dom here. T1 pushing them back. It'll take a miracle for them to get this one out. Owner, Peter coming in for the lockup, but Owner manages to get the objective, the fight coming out. Fire rained over the wall by Gumayushi, and down goes Peter. BDD finally arrived. That's the ulti coming in the meantime. He needs a little bit more space. Dom, BDD untouched, but the front line has fallen. BDD, CC'd, knocked into the sky, and right back into the grave. T1, get Otacon, and ace KT.
a triple kill for Guma, and T1 do it! They take over!
But now with the Baron spawning, relatively even setup, but again, it's the waves in favor of T1 that make this so hard, as immediately they're going to kick things off by going in on Cuz, taking away the Frost Armor passive. Lockdown from Keria is there. TP in from Doran as well. Ulti's going across the board. BDD caught off the side. A good flash to take him out, and Guma has to be careful, but he's so damn fast. Owner, fire up BDD. He goes gold in an extra 2.5 seconds to consider what went wrong as T1 looks set to end it all.
They're going to finish the job. It is Doran and Peter left alone in the mid lane, and T1 will ace them.
T1 earning their legacy again and again and again. There can be no doubting it. 4 players on the Rift today, making the impossible possible. Owner, FAKER, Gumayushi, Keria, and now Doran as well are world champions.
And the disbelief on his face. A teammate that so many have praised over the long years. Domestically, he's always been able to show it. As T1 find the free-peat.